Morning everyone, it's Dean Howell here from GeoSpatial Connect, and today is Friday, and Fridays are our business coaching sessions. So welcome to everyone who has joined. I'm just getting a few things set up here so I can see which one. All right, yep, that's the one I want. Okay. All right, so Fridays are our business coaching webinars, and today we continue with our mindset series using the book by Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich. And so we're going to continue looking at that, but just as a quick recap, we run these webinars each morning at 9 o'clock Adelaide time, Monday to Friday. Mondays is our new member webinar. Tuesday is services. Wednesday is job seeker coaching. Thursday, products and projects, and Friday, our business coaching. So if you want to be involved in any of those or involved with the website, just let me know, and we can help you promote your service or your product, or you can become involved with our coaching sessions. All right, so let's kick off today. I'm getting a bit of a flashing effect, but I think that's just my internet connection. All right, so let's just start today. As we said, today is part 5, and we're looking at imagination. So if you have any questions at any time, just drop a note in the chat, and I'll answer it as we go. Or if you're watching the recording, just drop me an email. Okay, so let's start this. All right, so last week we talked about specialized knowledge. So I'm just going to try and see why we're getting that flashing, but not quite sure. But hopefully it won't be a major issue. So last week we looked at specialized knowledge. So just have a quick recap. And that knowledge is only potential power. Remember, we talked about that you actually need to act on the knowledge that you have to turn it into that power. Open your mind to education, especially education that other people can offer you. You know, contact people that you want to be like, contact people that you want to work with, form mastermind groups, and build on that knowledge. You know, knowledge is easy to acquire. And I'm just going to see whether that makes a difference. All right, sell your services or ideas. All right, you know, there's an interesting point in that we talked about last week. You know, services and ideas are what people pay for, what people use, what people are looking for. And it's easier to sell your services and ideas than it is to sell a specific individual product. So think about those and think about how you can sell your service, like what people, you know, find the solution for people with your service. And then that might be to recommend a product or a further forward. So knowledge paves the road to riches when you know which road to take. So when you gather that knowledge, the path forward becomes clearer. So we're using that specialized knowledge, you know, and it's all about gaining that knowledge so you know when you're putting your definite major plan into practice that you know which way to go, you know what's right, you know which direction to take. You've listened to people who have done it before, and you can learn from them. All right, so today we start on imagination. So it's the 5th step towards riches. Now, I've said this before, you know, your definition of riches can be anything from, it could be money, it could be time freedom, it could be whatever you want it to be. So don't just specifically read into that just because we're using the book Think and Grow Rich. Riches can be defined how you want it to. And one of those steps is using your imagination. So as Napoleon Hill said, all the breaks in you need in life wait within your imagination. Imagination is the workshop of your mind, capable of turning mind energy into accomplishment and wealth. That's a bit of a mouthful, but so you know, a lot of people sort of, they have a plan, but they just don't put their imagination into practice. It's using that imagination to actually think of new solutions, think of new ways, think of what people have done before, using that knowledge. Use your imagination and come up with something great, come up with something new. And as it said, all the breaks you need in life wait within your imagination. All right, so there's two kinds of imagination that are talked about in this chapter. Synthetic imagination and creative imagination. And synthetic imagination is the one where we have where we arrange old concepts, ideas, plans into new combinations. So it's using that existing knowledge we have. It's using the existing things that we've done in the past, rearranging them and thinking of new solutions. Whereas creative imagination is where we think beyond that. We look at hunches and inspiration, and we think, what if we did this, what if we did that, what if we try this? And it's through that creative imagination that we get to the places we want to. We actually use both of them. You need to have that synthetic imagination, using the things that we've done in the past, reshuffling them, and then really knowing how to work with them, but then also having that creative imagination going as well. So bringing those things together, and that can then lead to how you build your business, how you build whatever you want, how you get to where you want to be in your definite major purpose. All right, so stimulate your imagination. How do we do that? Stimulating our imagination. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. It's all, the book's called Think and Grow Rich. So, the whole purpose of the premise of this book and the premise of this series is actually thinking about where you go, putting your plans in action, writing them down. And, if we read out our definite major purpose each day, and we know that we're going to get to that point, we put in place in our mind the creative imagination going by stimulating ourselves and stimulating our imagination. And by saying things to ourselves, using auto-suggestion and using all the things that we've talked about before, desire, faith, auto-suggestion, and bringing that into and bring it into your imagination, using that creative juices and getting your imagination stimulated so you can come up with those ideas. Don't just accept that you've done it in a certain way, so that's the way that you should always do it. Always be looking for new and more effective ways, because that's what will make you stand out from the crowd. All right, so we've talked about those sorts of things, stimulating the imagination and how we get there. So is there any questions for today, and where I can help you? And if there is, just type them into the chat, and we will. I'll just bring up the right window. So if you type them into the chat, and then we can answer them. If not, just then drop me an email, because these sessions they're not meant to be long. They're just meant to be something that you can mull over on the day and quickly get into it, and build on it. So use this week to actually explore your imagination. Have your definite major plan. all in action, and let's actually do something. All right. So use your synthetic and creative imagination together. All right. Imagination is the missing ingredient in many a failure. All right. Imagination backed with purpose. And the last point, the finest tool still needs a person who knows how to use it. There's a great story in this chapter, and it's all about how Coca-Cola started. And the original inventor of Coke, he put all his juices together, but he couldn't, his recipe together, but he couldn't take it anywhere. So he sold his idea to a clerk in a pharmacy, and that clerk had the imagination to actually take it to the masses. And so it, out of that little clerk in Georgia, now spurs probably one of the biggest well-known products around the globe. Almost every store you walk into will be selling a Coke type product. So that all came from imagination. So let's look at that this week. Let's pin it down and really concentrate on what you're going to do. All right, so next week we're going to talk about organized planning, and so read the chapter on organized planning, have your questions ready, and we will talk about it from there. And read the book, understand the book, and join me on the webinar. Okay, so if you want some personal coaching, jump onto my website at deanhowe.info. Put up some more coaching information there. If you want personal one-on-one coaching, then go to deanhowe.me and join me for just $25 a month, and you'll receive your own viral blog plus one-on-one coaching. And that coaching can be for whatever you want, for business, for job seeking, for whatever you seek in life. All right, so thanks for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you on one of our webinars next week. Remember, Monday is our new members webinar, and we're going to be launching our new platform for GeoSpatial Connect next week. Tuesday services, Wednesday job seeker coaching, Thursday products and projects, and Friday again our business coaching. So thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye for now.